In the words of the great Admiral Paul Sciarella, hello there, Jeep fans. I miss that guy. I love him very much, and he's a good guy. So I know a bunch of you guys are on his page and talking and all that kind of stuff. And but hey, it's freaking cold outside. You know, I did a video yesterday, and I went ahead and put that on YouTube as well. But tonight I want to talk about some research on the GPW that I picked up. I went and I got some numbers off the block, off the frame, the casting date on the block, which is located underneath the distributor, and I think that's it. Oh, and then I uncovered the hood number. So everybody keeps telling me to get a hold of a particular individual who's like the guru, Tom Wobalt. And so I remember him because back in when I first got the M37, he was interested in all the numbers on the truck, right? The cab, the motor, everything. And he was just curious and he wanted to update his database. So he did give me some information on it and pretty much confirmed that it's 100% pedigree, man. It's like everything that's interconnected is supposed to be on this vehicle, so it hasn't been bastardized. But he did help me out yesterday, and what we found out was that if you remember in the video, the 207, what was it? 7.2 that I thought was a 2 is really a 3. And there was another gentleman that chimed in, had watched the video, and he says, nah, if you look at how so if this is the edge of the whatever, okay, hang on. Give me just a second. Let me get something here, some straight line stuff. Let's say the end of the 2 arc was angled like this, and the end of the 3 was more like this. It wasn't the same, and so that's what clued him in that it was a 3. No sooner than he said that, did Tom come back to me and say, yeah, based on his records and what he was able to find, you know, because he's got like, I don't know what he's got, man. Like, I don't know if he's got original factory Ford, production notes or logs or whatever. And I don't know the depth of his database that he works with, but a lot of people respect this guy for his knowledge. So he comes back and he says, you want the good news or the not so good news? Like, I thought I was good to go, man. I had an engine matched the frame. So it's good. And the number on the hood is tied to the engine and the frame. But it is a 3. So the hood number is 207-34657. And it turns out that this particular GPW was built in Dallas, Texas. Thank you very much. We're going to have to go down there and rope and race some Broncos or something. And it's a crate Jeep. So it was crated up. Date of delivery, birth date was May 16th, 1945. Now, I'm so pumped about that. I'm just telling you. To know when something was actually built and to know that I'm restoring something that's truly historical, that's crazy to me. And so I'm just so pumped about it. And now I kind of have an idea of what's going to have to go on the dated plates when I get those made, because the vehicle did come without a title, and we'll have to work on that a different way. So turns out that it's a crate Jeep, and it was built on May 16th. So it never left the States, apparently. The war ended in September 2nd or something like that in 45. I don't remember the exact date, but that thing must have ended up in a warehouse somewhere, and it was either given to the military for on-post use, or it was surplus to the public. Now, looking at the hood and all the layers that we went through, I never did hit white numbers. I don't know if it was common then at that point in time for them to even do that. But I know once they got in theater or whatever, they got another layer of numbers and stars and all that business. But it had the blue, the light blue, gray, or whatever it was for the numbers. And then through the number, olive drab, red oxide, bare metal. So it just must have been sitting there waiting for somebody to get it. It got picked up and went to a farm, or it went somewhere to a business. Now, the motor has been painted red, so who knows? The vehicle must have been red at one time too, because you see it in the colors when we sanded it. So did it go to a fire department? Did somebody, they're international harvester guys or whatever, and painted the whole thing red? Maybe. There's some pretty dark green on there too. Somebody wanted that thing to be green at one time. So the point is, there's a lot of history that we don't know about in that vehicle. But it's just cool. And I'm telling you, my heart melted when we found out all those details about the vehicle, and the fact that Tom has all these records. If you guys haven't talked to him yet and tried to figure out the what's going on with your vehicle, you need to reach out to him. Now, the one thing I do ask that you do, he's a really nice guy. I had to write these things down, but his Facebook page is Military Vehicles by the Numbers. Okay, so you look that up. That's his page, and you'll notice a lot of people are asking questions about these particular numbers and stuff. And even if you don't really care about the background, the pedigree, or whatever, give the man the serial numbers anyway so he can update the database, right? Because I'm pretty sure that he has kind of got a line on, all the surviving vehicles that he can to this point. And it's kind of cool when you think about it. And every time somebody picks something out of a barn and it gets logged into the system, it's like, boom, there's another potential survivor. So that's good stuff. Military Vehicles by the Numbers. Now, he also has a GoFundMe page, and it's called Sequencing the Willys, MB, and Ford. And I don't blame the guy, right? I mean, the amount of time and effort that he puts into the research and obtaining the documents, and then taking the time, like last night, we probably spent an hour, total, or an hour and a half or whatever, trying to figure this stuff out. But he is investing a lot of his personal time into this project, and the GoFundMe is to support the project, right? There's a lot to do. There's a lot for him to research and figure out. And let's be honest, folks. Guys like you and me, maybe with the exception of a couple of you, but the majority of us, we don't have that kind of patience. And I don't have them kind of noodles to go out there and do all that work. So to me, what he provided is pretty valuable, all right? So I said, dude, what's your PayPal account? And matter of fact, just before this video, I went ahead and sent the man $75 because to me, it's worth it. And it's my way of showing my appreciation for the work that he's done and for helping me out for that small period of time. So I ask that you, if you're going to engage him, please, pay for some services is what I'm getting at, okay? Nobody's complaining or nothing like that, but it just dawned on me yesterday when we were doing this. I was so pumped up and excited about what I had found and where I was like mentally going with this vehicle that I didn't even stop to think for a second that, man, this guy I don't know how many years he probably put into this project. But that's pretty important stuff. And it's not just the Jeeps and the Willys. I mean, he deals with the trucks, and the WCs and all that. You'll have to talk to him about your particular vehicle. But I do know that he did have the research information for my Dodge 3/4 ton M37. It's a 52. So so Sequencing the Willys, MB, and Ford is the GoFundMe page. And the PayPal is xstuff@juno.com. And somehow I'll try to put the links or the addresses or whatever in the video. Somehow I'll fit it in there. But yeah, I'm stoked, man. May 16th, 1945. That's the birthday, man. and now I get to celebrate a birthday when that date comes. Yeah, so I'm pretty pumped. I'm so excited that I reached out to Rory Grenier, and he's got a good business going, and the parts that he sells, and so I'm going to start working up some exterior parts because the Jeep's going to sit in the garage for the winter. Okay, I need to focus on the M37. My buddy, God love him, David Pizzaferato, yeah, threw the freaking gauntlet down on me. And, he's got a couple of nice Kaisers, and he's working on one. What is that, an M715 or something like that? I nomenclatures, but he threw the gauntlet down, and I got to get busy. I can't let the man beat me to the punch. He probably will, because he's that skilled and awesome, but it's a little motivator for me to get busy on this thing. So, Dave, challenge accepted, I guess. And I love you. And Jeff, I'll be reaching out to Jeff. Jeff says he's got a set of top bows that I could use, so we'll talk to him and get those purchased. But what I want to do is get all the exterior accoutrements re-drilled out and just lightly installed. So dry fit the handles, dry fit all the exterior parts first. So I have all the holes drilled and ready to go. And then we'll peel the body off in the spring and sand it down and start doing some repairs. And I guess I could wait, but when I walk out of the garage and if I walk by a vehicle that's sitting there and it's got all those little exterior tchotchkes on there, it kind of gets the juices flowing, right? It gets the motivation going. And so when I walk by it, I'm looking at it thinking, man, I got to start this thing. I got to drive it, got to run it, whatever. So I'm going to work on a plan to try to acquire those parts throughout the winter. Not going to do it all at once. And we'll show you when those parts come in. I am going to F-script. Make sure I have F-script on everything. I'm not trying to be a nut about it, but why not, right? Because this Jeep ain't going nowhere. I've said that before. I know I've said that before, but I've never had anything so legit. So that changes the game a little bit. And but anyhow, thanks for watching tonight. And remember, reach out to Tom and just work with him. And I just think he provides valuable service to all of us. And so he deserves that recognition. So Tom, thank you so much for your help. I appreciate what you've done for me. And folks, that's it. I'll give you a quick pan around here, let me take this stupid thing off the deal. So here's the motor. All right, so we're gonna rotate this thing. We're gonna get the cam out. I gotta drop these lifters, and we're gonna punch all the valve guides out. And that'll be the next getting into it a little deep video that I'll do. The cab is in here, nice and dry and warm in here, but the rest of the area is a little messy. You can see I've been working. I've been putting stuff up on the walls and getting things off the floor. So, all right, have a good night. Thanks for watching. We're 13 and a half minutes into this, and I think it's time to go. Love you. Thanks. Get out there, hey, get out there and work on them Jeeps and them 37s and whatever else you're turning a wrench on. Just do it safe. Yeah.